this year's Zayed Sustainability Prize a little bit more, and they cover areas such as health, food, energy, and water specifically. Part of our panel today is Dr. Ricardo Alfonso Ferreira. I hope I got the pronunciation right. Brilliant. So you're the winner of the health category. And then we have Jean Rappe, who's the winner of the food category, from my understanding.
Correct.
Excellent. And finally, we also have engineer Heba Assad, who won energy, and then also Mahon Kumar Modal, who won the water prize this year. So very excited to have all of you with us here today, and we're looking forward to getting insights about your entrepreneurial journey and how you've gone about innovating, for the past couple of years, and talk us through some of the steps that have led to the moment where you actually won this award. The title of this panel is Scaling Up Approaches That Work, and I think that's something that we really want to deliver on today to get some real insights into how do you take the idea into a solution that essentially works. So all of you come from successful startups or nonprofit organizations that have had this opportunity to turn innovative ideas into real-life solutions. But obviously doing this is it's not easy, it's challenging. Anyone who's run a business knows that it's probably one of the most challenging things you can do. And that's what we want to explore today. So I'd like to start with you, Heba, actually. So your company delivers electricity to communities that don't have energy access. How do you manage to pull that off in a refugee camp, specifically?
So thank you for having me today. Just to look our deeper, closer to your questions, how we can make like a successful project. One of the key elements for making any successful project is to keep or finding the key stakeholder for your project, to understand their requirements, needs, how they expectation from this project. Once we have defining this key stakeholder, we can collecting their needs requirement. Then, as we are working on innovative project with a humanitarian context, we need working on agile approach because it's the things become changing rapidly, and we don't have like a clear visions at the beginning for this project. So let me have like a deep looker in our project exactly. For example, let's start with the beneficiaries, one of the key stakeholders for our project. We have been done like live survey, focus group discussions with them to understand what exactly their needs are requirement, what is their expectations from this project, and how they can see the outcome from that project, as well as understanding the old experience for all the projects that already have been implemented in the camps, and why it's failed, or what's the successful or a pride story from this context. Based on that, we have come up with a solution fit them. We have been or distinguish than other companies on the market. We don't bring like out-of-shelf product and then customize them based on their solutions. Then let's me talking about another key stakeholders. It's like the NGOs, the private, the non-profit organization that we are working on with. They are managing the camps. So we collecting data. What's their need from this data? What's how they can apply or benefit from this data in operating the camps and improving the life, the quality life for the people who are living there. Once they understand their perspectives or what they are looking for, we have developed like a platform customized on their needs. And let me mention another one of key stakeholders in our, as well as in our project, is the governments. You need to understand the context that you are working on, especially in the area that we have like many regulations needing to take many permits to launch these solutions. For example, let me mention one of the challenges that have been mentioned, that we can bring a high-tech solutions like LoRa network for the communication between the smart controller and the platform. This is like a high-tech technology, but it's something not applicable or cannot be implemented in the camps due to the permits that will be taking more than 2 years to get this such permitting. So yes, we can go back to older technology and use it. It's useful or can be done the objective for using this technology, and later on we can like scale or use this. The other technology can be fit the need or requirement. Just so to warm up what already have been said, we need to be like using an agile approach, implementing the project in the iterations ways. So the first time getting the feedback for the first version, then improved what already have been done, seeing how this project is going on through 1 or 2 years, it is something can be benefit for the project success.
Excellent. And can you just explain to us how do you bring the electricity to the camp in layman's term for people that don't understand?
Actually, we don't bring electricity. There is like in the camps, there is like NGOs responsible for implementing renewable energy systems there, and already there is on-grid systems in the camps. And they are managing this electricity. But unfortunately, the main issue in the camps is the electricity absence, which reach more than 13 hours per day. This is due to the funding agencies. They don't have the funds that will to provide the electricity 24 hours per day. So we have developed innovative solutions to ensure fair electrical distribution for the exiting electricity already in the camps among the refugees themselves, and extend the electricity for the essentials need, such as lighting, refrigerator, medical devices for 24 hours per day. This is the main idea for our project, yeah.
And it must be really inspiring to see the impact, because it's life-changing for some of these people.
Yeah, exactly. We have like making a monitoring exercise before implementing the project, and after implementing the project, seeing the feedback from the beneficiaries themselves. This is done by third party, by NGOs, and we have been very happy to see this results and how implementing such a solutions and improving the quality life of the people, how they are happy, how many emotional stories that we have been in touch with them to improve their quality life. In energy, it's like an essential needs for anyone. So anyone should have an access for the electricity, especially for the essential needs.
Absolutely. I'd like to turn to you, Mahon. So LEADARS is a water resource management model that solves water scarcity in disaster-prone areas. And I know you've had a lot of success with this in Bangladesh specifically. So can you talk to me about the idea and how you went about implementing it?
Thank you, dear moderator and dear panelists and audience. Greetings from LEADARS. LEADARS is basically grassroots level NGO working in the coastal area of Bangladesh. Especially due to the climate change, there have a lot of crises face the people in Bangladesh, and especially the coastal area. We face frequent disasters, salinity, and also the irregular rainfall. That's why the people could not cultivate the paddy. Could not cultivate and they could not cultivate the shrimp also, because the salinity is so high, increasing. And the crisis started in 19 decades of the last centuries. And that time I was a student, very young student, and that time the people, especially the marginal people and the landless people, they are migrating from that area, because that area is basically a Sundarban area, and a landlord before 300, 400 years ago, they cut the forest and they make the settlement that area. It's a huge area, 300, 400 square kilometers. So especially that is very poor area, and the landless people are living there very much. And when the crisis started, people were migrating from that area to other areas. And some of our friends and my relatives, they migrated that time. My maternal uncle also left that country because of the livelihood scarcity. It is very painful that the people are migrating from their forefathers' land. It's hurt us, and we formed a small club in 1996 when I was a student. And we really organized some cultural events, some social events in the community. After my completion, completion of my graduation in 2002, we started a small project in the community level in the Sundarban area, and we distributed some rainwater harvesting system in the community. And the community appreciated us so much. And because they can manage rice, they can manage vegetables, but without water, nobody can live there. So they praised us, and they inspired us, and that time we tried to manage some funds from the individual donors, from some of our relatives who are living abroad. They donated us money, and also some small donors in Bangladesh and some other countries. We managed them to give us a small funds. Basically, we tried to integrate a lot of technologies. We tried to make available a lot of technologies in the community to source the community, because community people have sovereignty to source some things, because we always, NGOs, are trying to deploy some technology in the community. It may be not culturally accepted. It may be not user-friendly. So our technology, our model is to make available all kind of technologies, low cost, high cost, medium cost, user-friendly. Then people have choice, and if some community choice some technology, we provide them the financial and technical solution. That is our main model. Thank you very much.
And how is that system based by people living in this community on a day-to-day basis? Can you explain that for us?
Basically, we are in the coastal area. Two type of water problems. One is underground water is saline, and people have to relate to the surface water. But due to the cyclones and tidal surge, the surface water is contaminating with the saline water, and in some area the surface water is contaminating because of the waterlogged. There have some area that around the year that was waterlogged, and it is contaminated with the pollutions. So we install different type of technologies to treatment of the surface water, like the ponds and filter. Ponds and filter is a community-based solution filtration system in our area. We install near about 20 villages, 20 ponds and filter, and each ponds and filter, 200 family can get drinking water for is technology. And we also simultaneously install some areas to biosand filter. Biosand filter also a solution technology, but it is a household-based technology. And till now, we installed 5,250 biosand filter in the community. And also the severe coast area, like the severe saline area, we install rainwater harvesting systems. And also we install reverse osmosis system to desalination the seawater for drink. And we also managing the managed aquifer research technology. It's another kind of technology that can reduce the groundwater salinity by injecting the sweet water artificially. That 5 type of technology we installed in this area. And by our initiative, more than 16,000 people have access the drinking water.
Thank you very much. I'd like to turn to you, Jean, and hear a little bit more about your company, Insects, which is actually leading when it comes to the development of insect-based proteins and fertilizers, natural fertilizers, that is. How were you able to scale your operations so quickly since establishing the company about a decade ago?
It took 10 to 12 years to get where we are, so it's not like magic. It doesn't appear without a lot of effort and a lot of work from our people. So the company was founded by 4 people in 2011 with one vision, which is that population is growing. Today we are 8 billion. In 2050 we'll be 10 billion people. So the food requirements will also increase by 70% according to United Nations between 2010 and 2050. So there is a need for producing a lot more and at the same time, the resources are being more and more constrained. So we have to, I mean, as a global community, we have to find solutions to basically do more with less. That's what it means. So that was the vision of the founders in 2011. They created the company, and in the early years of the company, they focused quite a lot on research and development. When you are the first one, you need to invent everything. And it was mostly focused on research and development, developing the technology to prepare for industrialization of insect rearing, but also focusing on biology, understanding the insect better, trying to optimize the amount of resource that the insect needs to produce 1 kilogram of protein. So a lot of work has been done on that. Today we can say that insects are more efficient than the traditional ways to produce protein on just about all fronts. You need less water, less feed, animal feed for the insect, and less land. So it's all good for the environment. So the company really just started to invest big money in production capabilities 4 or 5 years ago. First, building prototype projects, and then more recently, a large vertical farm in Amiens in France. So now the big story is coming, because we invested a lot of money. We are able to produce a lot of protein. We need to basically tell the world that we are part of the solution in the long term. And that's why this prize is very useful for us, because it gives visibility and credibility. So that's what we need to do now to scale the operation up. And that's just the beginning of the story. And one conviction that we have is that insect is part of the solution. It's not the only solution. It's like in energy, you know, it is not about wind or solar or one technology in particular. I mean, there is plenty of room for multiple technologies contributing to the food challenge that we are facing today.
And how are people responding to the idea of using insects specifically? Because I'm assuming that it's not widespread in the industry, and you're taking it back to basics in a way.
Yeah, I think there are countries where it's a no-brainer. I mean, some countries have had insect in their diet for centuries. So today, if you ask them to eat insects, doing that on my parents and my grandparents, so it's a non-issue in certain times. In others, okay, the acceptability is a bit more complicated, but I think there is a new generation that really wants to make change. That on all fronts, whether it's energy or water or food, there is a strong pressure from the people to make sure that whatever we do or eat is more respectful for the environment. In fact, is bringing that, so it's appealing for a new generation which is demanding action. It's also, I mean, helping the fact that insects are good for health. It's not just a good solution from environmental point of view. It's also a good solution from a health point of view. There have been a lot of studies, and we have done some of the studies showing that insect proteins allow to reduce cholesterol, for example, better digestibility because of very low ash content in the protein powder that we produce. And last but not least, it has the right proteins, because protein is a vast word, right? And there are different kinds of amino acids in proteins, and insect proteins have that characteristic of having all the essential proteins for humans. It means that in theory, you could just use insect and nothing else, and you would be in perfect shape.
And just quickly, what's the biggest impact you've seen so far in terms of using this this system?
Well, I mean, global scale, our production, if you compare our production with the food produced worldwide, I mean, still a long way, right? But I think now the impact is what we discovered, in fact, the result of our research. So the benefit of the technology on sustainability questions and on health. Now we need to communicate that so that people understand the real merit of the technology, and it will help acceptability and basically making the difference in the future in terms of quantities that we can produce and deliver to the market.
Absolutely, extremely useful, because we know that the world population is growing at a rapid speed, and it is becoming increasingly more difficult to feed everyone. I'd like to turn to you, Dr. Ricardo. Your organization, I understand, delivers quality healthcare to some very remote indigenous communities in the Amazon. This sounds incredibly exciting. How were you able to navigate sort of the complex relationships within those communities while still coming in from the outside and developing a business model that works for you?
First, you have to really listen to people, listen to what they say, the way they live, try to study a little bit. And before we go, or when we go the first time, always talk to the leadership and speak with them and ask their permission to go, and always know that you are a visitor. You are someone from outside, so you have to get their permission to go there. And at the beginning, it was very hard because they would tell you, oh, we've heard white people before, and you just come here and you talk a lot and you do nothing. But then, little by little, first time we went with just 4 of us with 100 kilos of equipment, and then we grew. Last expedition, the 50th, we've been doing this for 20 years. It was over 20 tons of equipment that we brought in. So you have to get the trust from these people, and whatever you tell them, do it. Don't promise anything you won't be able to deliver. And remember always that you are a visitor. You are there, and it's an opportunity to be there. You are not God or anything like that. Even though some of the surgeries we do, especially, we work a lot with cataracts. Cataract in the Amazon forest, they are young and they get blind very soon. On their 50s, on their 60s, they already can't see. So some people think, it's a magic because you get them, they can't see. The next day in the morning, they can see. It's beautiful. Still today, 20 years later, 10,000 surgeries after, I still wake up in the morning to see them taking out the bandages and being able to see again. And we have to take a lot of care because in our expedition, there is between 200 people that will come in and out of our camp. And sometimes some of them are enemies, so we work a lot with anthropologists so that it will tell us and we'll know who is the enemy of who, so they'll never be there at the same time. We want to come in, do whatever we have to do, and go out with as much as possible, not interfering with their way of life. Well, I don't want doctors, I don't want nurses to socially interact with the local population. We have to be in and out and have the less impact as possible.
And providing this type of service, whether it's helping with cataracts or other medical services,
Hernias and pterygiums, yes.
Yes, it's life changing, like some of the other innovations and solutions that we've discussed. What impact is this having on the community? Does it mean that they're able to sustain themselves to a larger degree, that they're independent? Because I assume that traditionally, if you're suffering from a medical condition and you're not given quality healthcare within a specific time frame, then your health is going to get much worse and very quickly.
Yeah, for sure. I think every one of you can imagine what it is to live in a forest without being able to see or without being able to carry weight. It's very hard, and so this will change because they'll go back to their work, they'll go back to their own lives, and it's quick. It's kind of surgery that we do. It's they stay with us for they come, we see them, we operate, and the other day they're gone, and they're good, which is very nice. So they can adapt themselves to their society, to their community again, very quickly. But trying, as I said before, to interfere the least, the better.
And is that difficult sometimes?
Sometimes it's difficult. Sometimes it's difficult. Sometimes, they don't trust. They are always saying, "Oh, I've heard you white people before. You come with this talk." And so, but when, after 20 years, I've been doing this for 20 years, so they already know us. They most of them do really trust us, I could say.
Excellent. And receiving this prize money is going to allow you to scale what you're already doing. So what's the plan going forward?
I think just being part of here of this community, of this meeting that I'm seeing here, is the prize, the Zayed Sustainability Prize is important, but not as important as in the network that we're developing here. Getting all together with these people is another different ball game, isn't it? So I'm learning a lot to how we're going to scale this, but for sure we're going to be able to scale it up and do more expeditions. And we have different projects today than at the beginning. At the beginning was just doing surgery, and now we have a women program so that we take out lesions, uterus lesions that are not cancer yet. And then we have a program of telemedicine that we're developing right now, that we're sending nurses all over the Amazon forest for them to, and we have specialized doctors in Sao Paulo, in the region of the southeast, where we have lots of doctors. So we'll be able to scale this up, I think, in a kind of a quick way, because we've been doing this for so many years, but now we're ready to grow. And I think this money and this network will really help us, talking to people about water, listening to water projects, energy projects, that will help us a lot.
Excellent. I'd like to extend the same question actually to you, Jean, and then go around the circle. What does this price do for your operation scaling up? You talked about a vertical farm and doing what you're already doing, but at a much greater scale. So what happens after this win and this prize?
Yeah, basically I agree with what Ricardo mentioned. And for a startup, the money is always an issue, right? I mean, for all our activities, I guess it's always an issue. So I would say for us, the best use of that money would be to work on specific research program to kind of, continue progressing the technology. And also, I would say the big merit of this prize is giving us visibility and credibility. Acceptability is clearly one of the key driver for the future of our insect business. So event like this, because of their reputation and Zayed Prize reputation in particular, it's really helping us a lot because we can talk to the people through the media, through you, and explain the merit of insect and explain what is coming for them and what needs to happen. So it's very important to have that forum to communicate and change mindsets.
And Heba?
Yeah. winning this prize, it will be a great opportunity for us to increase our impact, footprint, as well as our reach. So we are thinking to scale up our project in different contexts by adding more features and functions for our product, taking in considerations all the humanitarian aspects, as well as to impact more beneficiaries, even refugees or people living in remote area, by implementing our energy and efficient solutions in this area.
And Mahon?
Thank you very much. We have a plan like others that to scale up our innovative solution in the other areas, because in the coastal area in Bangladesh is long area, 700 kilometers long. So we are working only 2 districts and 3 sub-districts. We have to expand our activities to other area because people need support. And also we will focus the sustainability of our initiatives, and we will develop some social entrepreneur in the society so that they can make available that kind of low-cost technology for removing the water crisis in the coastal area. And I think this is our challenge, and I think by developing social enterprise and scaling up our project, we can double up our impact to the community.
Very exciting. And finally, I'd like to ask this question actually to all of you. If you had to describe the future of sustainability in one word, and we can start with you, Mahon, what would that word be?
Actually, in the sustainability, we think we have to focus that the technologies can run long time. And as I mentioned that we are installing now reverse osmosis technology. It is super technology. It needs a lot of electricity, and as we are winning this money, so we will install some solar systems instead of the grid line of that water technology. I think that can ensure the sustainability of that kind of water points. And also we have some ponds and filters, so we'll run some motors, pump motors by electricity. So we'll install the solar instead of the electricity. And also the important things is we will do all the things involving of our local community that can ensure the sustainability of our initiative.
So your word will be solar.
Yeah, instead of the electricity, we will go for solar, renewable energy.
Perfect.
Thank you.
And Heba?
Yes, let me describe it in one word: equity. So everyone have the right to have an access for all the essentials need. No one should be left behind. So I do believe this is the future. Yeah.
Yeah, sustainability is often seen like a huge mountain to climb, a big challenge, and to some aspect a little bit scary. But I think if we look at the positive aspect, in one word, I would say this is huge opportunity. Sustainability challenge is a huge opportunity.
And Dr. Ricardo, final word.
Solidarity.
Do you want to expound on that?
You have to think about the others all the time. You cannot think only of yourself. You have to think about others. Wherever you are, how you want to be treated.
Which really informs how you interact with the indigenous communities in your work as well.
Exactly. Is, treat someone like you want to be treated. Be solidarity. Solidarity is not altruism. It's a need for survival. If you don't have solidarity, it's very hard. Life is going to be very hard. You have to look at the one beside you and treat them well.
Excellent. And I think that's ultimately what sustainability is about as well. It's making the most out of the resources that we have and securing those for future generations as well. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of you for coming here today to talk about the important work that you're doing, but also how you plan to scale up and what you're going to do going forward after the recognition that you've received, which is obviously very well deserved. I'd also like to thank the audience. It's been great having you here with us, and this has obviously been a live stream, but the entire session will also be posted to the Zayed Sustainability Prize's YouTube channel later today. So thank you very much, and yes, best of luck for the future. Cheers.